Hey guys, welcome to My Brother's Ballot. I'm your boy Poe Theory. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. So, of course, I was watching Newsnight and there was a really interesting interaction between Van and Batya, who Batya is batshit crazy, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just get into the clip real quick.
Listen, I don't think anybody is stupid. I think all three branches have the right to operate the way they want. I think the president of the United States has the right to operate based on his opinion because he's voted in. But the judicial branch has the right to interpret the meaning of the law the way they see it. That's their right. To make proof of requirement.
This is a key question. What if another group of people, say not illegal aliens, but just some other group from somewhere else, actually came to the shores of the United States, not a nation, but say a group, any kind of group, and actually did come ashore and try to invade, I don't know what else you would call it, the United States, would you run to?
So I always say this, I believe in asking the secondary question, or at least changing the framing of the question, because at the end of the day, to use the word invade sounds dangerous. Invade sounds like they are coming to take over and change America for what it is currently. This has been said countless times, but undocumented immigrants commit less crime than American citizens. That's why the conservatives always hitch their wagons to the Laken Riley case.
Court and ask a federal judge if the president of the United States can we defend the nation now?
But that's
can
not
we
what
stop
that's
it?
not what we're
It
talking about.
is. They're coming across.
You were also generalizing here. You were talking about, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, Scott.
But what's the difference?
What's the difference? There will be a declaration of war and then the act with power.
If there are gang members and if they're killing or raping women in this country, they should absolutely be deported, and there should be deportation orders, and there should be a process, and there is a process to deport them. You were saying that every person that is here illegally is raping people.
When you hear her say that out loud, that she agrees with him, that anyone that has committed any violent act or any felonious crime, they should be deported. Literally, I would say the majority of America agrees with that. They just don't agree with how Trump does it. And they are well aware of that, but they keep pushing any pushback that they receive. And when I say they, I mean Trump's administration and his right-wing pundits that he has on CNN. Any pushback they get, they will say, okay, well, you are okay with Americans being attacked by undocumented. I just wish they would push back and say, well, I guess with all the inaction that the right wing does, they are okay with our children being slaughtered in their classrooms, because that happens at a much higher rate than violent crime committed by an undocumented person.
No, that is not true. Yes, you're saying they're all part of these gangs. They all they're invading our country. They're doing all these things.
They're certainly associated. They're not all violent, but
they're not all violent. They're not all violent. And everybody.
Again, language is extremely important, and Scott knows what he's doing. They are not criminals. If you come into this country illegally with being undocumented, you are not a criminal by just entering this country without papers, essentially. You are not. It is not a criminal law that you broke. It's a civil crime, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Yes. So again, this is why language is extremely important. And I'm so upset that these people are not clocking the language that he is using. For instance, when he says they are not all violent criminals, but they are criminals, that's not true. They have committed a civil offense, not a criminal offense. A civil offense is essentially you rolling through a stop sign, you running a red light. All of us have done it. Would you be comfortable being categorized as a criminal just because you ran a red light? Which is why I go back to it. Language is extremely important. They know what they're doing, and you have to challenge every single thing that they are saying, because they are liars, especially Scott Jennings.
Whether they are 2 years old or whether they are 90 years old and have been in our country the entire time, They deserve a process. The criminals.
I'm sorry, what process did they follow to get here? The process of breaking our laws?
Well, because there is a law, there are laws in order, and there are deportation proceedings to get these people out of our country.
Listen, how long
the 99-year-old who is here did not get they are
all right, Batya, let me let you get a word in. Well, I to me, like the energy in defense of these gangbangers. I'm not the way nobody.
And again, in defense of these gangbangers, she's essentially calling every single person that has come into this country without any type of documentation or overstayed their visas, they are essentially gangbangers. Do you know how dangerous that is to say?
I feel like that's where it's like, first they came for the guy who beats his wife, and I said nothing because I don't beat my wife. And then they came for the guy who said, I love killing Jews. And I said nothing because I don't love killing Jews. And now they came for the gangbangers, and I said nothing.
Can I say something real quick? You know why that triggers me? That triggers me because I come from a place where a whole bunch of people, they're American citizens, but they're thrown away. They're thrown away because they might have committed crimes, because they got in trouble when they were young.
You should be the angriest that they care about the gangbangers and not those people.
No, what I care about is that there's...
She can't be serious. She can't be serious. See, this is what the right wing does. They try to pit marginalized groups against each other when they are the perpetrators of the issues that are happening in today's society. As a black person, in which I'm sure Van Jones is going, Van Jones. Woo, I'm sorry, Van Lathan. I'm so sorry, Van Lathan, for calling you Van Jones. But as you can see, when she says you should be upset, you should be more upset because of this. She is essentially trying to pit marginalized groups against each other. You see, you don't even get this over here. And then they're trying to give these rights to these people. You should be angry. Why would I be angry at them? I should be more angry at the people that prevented me from having these rights, which happen to be the same people that are trying to stop these people from having rights. As a Black American, I always say this. The majority of us have so much empathy because we understand, one, our history and what has been done to us, and how if we do not stand up and defend others that could possibly go through the same things that we have went through, it could always come back over to us. And she's Jewish. I don't understand how she doesn't understand this.
System of laws that is supposed to protect the due process of those people.
Yeah.
And that has to matter more than what society thinks about whatever they have done.
Due process. I don't know why the Democrats are not angry about that.
If you are angry about that, I'm not sure, but is this the first time you brought this up? Is this the first time that you said this? What work have you done to outline and show your anger? Have you marched on Washington? Have you proposed any laws? Have you called your senator or congressperson or local mayor to figure out why the incarceration rate is so disproportionate when it comes to Black men and Black women in prison? Get out of here.
No. That triggers me because I coach people, and that has to matter more than what society thinks about whatever they have done.
I don't know why the Democrats are not angry about that. Because they're not citizens. We do not owe them the same thing. It has to mean something.
I'm so happy that he jumped in and said, well, why is it okay for them not to get due process? And then she says the quiet part out loud. It's because they're not citizens. And they don't deserve it. But we have this lovely thing called a constitution. And if you are within from sea to shining sea, or whatever the hell they say, you are protected by our constitution. They pick and choose when they want the constitution to work for them. I say this all the time. The right wants to create laws to punish, and the left want to create laws to protect people. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. I just had to throw this out here for y'all because that shit was blowing my brain. Hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.